Finding this comfortable seat, move around so you can start to notice your sitting bones touching the earth beneath you. And really, this place of grounding, of settling here. And this is an interesting morning, right? We've had many interesting mornings this year since we've been working together here on screen. Um, I taught one day just after a big earthquake. I taught another day in the middle of a huge windstorm. And here we are the day after an election. Lots of big days. So I want you to just notice right here, right now, what's in you and with you. Just notice. My body's feeling like I've had too much coffee, and I really haven't this morning. So I'm just feeling a little jittery and maybe unsettled, uncertain. And that shows up for me in like a strange feeling in my stomach, and like my shoulders are held a little too high on my body. So just notice and acknowledge what showed up with you this morning. And then let's do what yoga does. Let's get into our bodies and explore. So if you'd like, you can close your eyes, bring your attention inward to this inner world inside of you. This inner world where there is always a center of peace, always. When we're unsettled, it's because we are connected to the outside world. So start to notice your breath. This inward, soft, and gentle wind moving inside of you. And first notice the up and down wind. Apana is the downward wind. Prana, upward wind. Just see if you can notice this sense of like breath coming in as like a light wind lifting from the ground to the sky. And the exhale is like a light wind moving in you from top to bottom, like a settling. Do a few of those. Inhale to feel the upward wind, and exhale to feel the downward wind. Start to notice these breaths moving down into your belly and your low back. And as you do that, see if you can feel a sense of a forward and back sensation, a forward wind and a backward wind. So imagine inhale pressing forward into your chest and your belly. And then exhale, let that soft wind pull backwards into your back body. See if your breath can help you create a sense of front and back. And then start to feel the sides of your body and begin to move breath sideways. So on the inhale, imagine your ribs expanding and your shoulders broadening out to the sides. And on your exhale, squeeze in, make your whole body a little more narrow, come toward midline. And do that a couple of times. Inhale to widen, to broaden. And exhale to close in, to come to center. And now put all of those together. Inhale, both lengthen, broaden, front and back, your whole body expanding like a big sphere. And then exhale, hug everything into the center of that circle. Do that 2 more times, this full, expansive, all direction breath. And then come into center. Maybe even open your mouth and let a sigh out of your body. Let's move the shoulders up by the ears, back and down, and just feel the muscles around the shoulder joint. Really big exaggerated circles. See if you can find any tension there that you can slowly move through. Make that a little bigger. Bring your elbows up and out and down. So the elbows now making big circles on either side of you. And let that turn into a full arm circle. So just cross your arms in front of you and reach up over your head. Moving with your breath, exaggerate how big you can reach. Let's take one more deep breath in. Arms reach overhead. Press down through your hips, lift up through your fingers. And again, take that expansive breath that fills your whole body. Exhale, open mouth. Inhale, reach even taller. And then exhale, lower your fingertips behind you. Press your hands into the floor and begin to lift your chest up and out. So just feeling this nice tall spine, a little back bend. You might even walk your fingers closer together, just drawing more breath into sternum and collarbones. And then exhale, sweep your hands around to your legs in front of you and exhale, pull back. Do the opposite now. Knees come closer together, chin drops to chest, and breathe into the space between your shoulder blades. Melting any tension. And now inhale, pull forward, really exaggerate, and exhale, rock back. Start to make this movement bigger. Forward and back. And with your hands glued to your knees, how far can you move in both of these directions? Your neck is getting in on the action, lifting as you come forward, and chin dropping as you move back. And then find the center. Let your legs come out in front of you and give them a little shake. Give your legs a little shake. We're going to do a little flow here that will help us continue to move in that forward and back pattern. So inhale the arms overhead, stretch as tall as you can. Reach for the sky, and then exhale, plant your hands behind you, palms facing in. Point your toes, and on the inhale, press up into inclined plank. Look behind you. Exhale, lower your hips to the earth. Inhale, sweep arms high. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Pause here. Let the whole breath go. Let's do that sequence again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, plant your hands to the floor behind you. Point your toes. Good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, arms high. And exhale, soft forward fold. Big breath out. And then come back to a Dandasana staff pose. Just find a comfortable place here. We're going to bend our knees. And we're going to play, before we even get into our standing postures, we're going to play with Navasana or boat pose. So keeping your heels on the floor, press your hands to the mat and pull backwards. So your hands don't move, but imagine you're trying to pull your butt toward your heels. So your hands are, there's tension pulling backwards. And as you do that, lift your chest. You should be shaking a little bit when you do this, just creating this muscular tension and core heat. Breathe in. And then breathe out, relax that tension. Bring your hands behind your knees, come into a supported boat pose. As you breathe in, pull on your legs, lift your chest. And exhale, stay here. option to float your arms to the sides. We're going to be here for a few breaths, just building heat. And if you'd like for today, straighten your legs, challenge yourself. Deep breath in, big breath out. Hands to the backs of the legs, rest the knees, pull your chest up. Notice if there's any heat building. Maybe getting a little angry at your yoga teacher for making you do boat this early. It's okay. I'm going to go one more time. So either bent knees or straight. And I'd like you to try this new option of boat. It's not new, this other option of boat. Grab your big toes. Grab your big toes. And for some of us, we can just hang out right here. You might even hold the bottoms of your feet, but lift your torso, lift your waistband off the floor. And if it's available, straighten your legs. Come into this bound version of Navasana, boat pose. You might even bend your elbows and pull your legs closer to your face. Building heat, breath. And then release. Bring the soles of your feet together. Round your spine, butterfly. And just notice under the surface that heat, work, maybe some resistance to the work, maybe some joy, excitement about work. Just notice. And then we'll come up and bring the knees together. And go ahead and bring yourself all the way around onto all fours, tabletop position. And start to flow through cat and cow in any way that you like. So it might be slow, it might be a little faster. You might enjoy moving side to side in your cat cow. While I get you some music going, just start to play with your spine and its movement. Maybe shifting your body forward and pulling your body back with your breath. Good. The next time your hips are back, pause in child's pose and shift your hips from side to side over your heels. Start to notice hips, lower back, sacrum, and what's showing up there today. If there's any pain or tightness, just honoring the back of the body. As you come back to tabletop, let's tuck the toes and we'll lift our hips up into downward facing dog. Start to slowly pedal your heels. And just notice in this pose, downward facing dog, you really are just in an upside down boat pose. Your body was just in this shape a minute ago with your hips on the floor and limbs up in the air. But notice the difference gravity makes in the same shape. Good, everyone. Start to walk your feet up to meet your hands. And come to forward fold. Put a soft bend in your knees and touch your fingers to your elbows. Come into ragdoll. You can just gently slide your fingers down toward your elbow bones, just pulling your arms down, letting your head hang freely, lengthening your spine. Full body breath. Feet pressed firmly into the earth. Here now with a big exhale. Releasing fingers, press hands to your shins and lengthen halfway. Feel a strong back. And then exhale, fold a little deeper, a little more length in those hamstrings. Let's do that twice more. Press to lengthen. Exhale to lower. Press and lengthen. Exhale, lower. Let's put a deep bend in the knees. And inhale, reach the arms up into chair pose, Utkatasana. Pause here. Weight in the heels, tailbone back. Notice again your response to effort. Be here with your breath. Shoulders relaxed. Let breath do its work in your body. Inhale up, let your arms come behind you. And exhale, sweep your arms around and into chair, hands at the heart. Let's inhale, lift, back bend. Sweep around to chair. And start to add in Ujjayi breath, that whisper sound, H sound of breath. And let's try as much as possible to keep this Ujjayi breath with us through this practice. Ujjayi breath is the breath of the warrior. And this morning, the warrior is being asked to stand still, to be patient and wait for outcomes. So we wait with this steadiness, with the sound of our breath, this inward focus, keeping an eye on our own experience. One more time, reach high, back bend. Exhale, chair, hands to heart. Let's take a twist here. Bring your left elbow to your right knee, and then just press top hand into bottom hand. Open, turn your gaze toward your right shoulder, and breathe. Feel your abdominal muscles pumping out and in with each breath. Come back to center and switch sides. Right elbow, left knee. Top hand presses, open your chest to the right, turn your head. Pump your belly. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, spill your body forward. Nod your head yes and shake your head no. Pressing into the earth with your feet, inhale, arms reach high, extended mountain. Let the breath come all the way up to your fingertips. And then exhale, hands to your sides. Pause here, Tadasana, mountain pose. I'd like to introduce the word Dharma to this practice. And Dharma is our life's purpose, why we're here. The search for truth, for our truth. And the need to just stand in our own footprints on our path. What is your Dharma? What brought you to these footprints right here, right now? Inhale the arms high. Exhale, forward fold, slow flow. Hands come to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank pose. Pause to press into the earth. Open your shoulder blades. You can stay on your toes or drop to your knees. Exhale, spin the elbows, lower halfway down. And then melt your body to the earth. Peel up to baby cobra. Feel your shoulders on your back. Exhale, press back through child's pose and up into downward facing dog. With fingers spread wide here, lift your tailbone. Reach your heels a little closer to the earth. Looking forward, walk your feet to meet your hands. Hands come to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, fold in half. Put a soft bend in your knees and sweep your arms up and back. Find that back bend. And come back to heart center, back to your own footprints. Standing here. We'll go again. Sun A. Inhale, arms reach. Good. Exhale, fold in half. Press, lift halfway. Exhale, downward facing dog. Launch your body forward onto your toes or your knees and lower halfway down, chaturanga. Come up to cobra or press into upward facing dog, hands and feet on the floor. Good. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Feel your arm bones getting longer. Tailbone lifting higher. Hamstrings feeling space and length. And slowly walk your feet to your hands, forward fold. With a bend in the knees, reach arms high, extended mountain. And bring your hands to your heart. Beautiful. Step your feet wide. Let's come to the wide edge of our mat. And reach the arms up to the corners of the room, 5-pointed star. And then bending knees for sunflower. Just scoop down and lift up. Ujjayi breath. Big reach. Big squat. Full body movement. Reaching the arms high, change to moonflowers. Keep your spine straight, dropping down into goddess. Shoulders pulling down your back. Ujjayi breath. Keep that fiery warrior breath going. And come down into prayer or into squat. Open your arms out into sun pose. I think where most of us live, the sun is shining today. It's a beautiful autumn day. Lift your chest like you're holding the sun in your arms. And if you'd like a little more challenge here, lift your toes off your heels off the floor. Balance. Notice when effort shows up, what happens in your body. If your heels are up, drop them. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten your legs, toes turned forward, and let's hinge from the hips. Come into a wide straddle. And then just bend and straighten here. Deep bend in the knees, straightening as much as you can. And then just straighten your legs to hold and hang your head down. Your feet come a little More between your hands between your feet, head hanging down. Breathe here. And let's lift to a halfway, flat back. Turn your right toes forward to the top of your mat. Walk your hands back around toward the right. And let's drop the back heel, come up into warrior one. So finding your footprints here, warriors. Calm strength, steady ujjayi breath. Every single step you've taken since you learned to walk on this earth has brought you here. Every single step has brought you to these footprints, warrior. Breathe here. Pause here. Let your thumbs reach back a few inches. Let your chest be light. And on the exhale, swim your arms way forward, as far out in front of you as you can reach. And then just continue the arms moving back, lifting as high as they can, head lowers down. Let's do that 2 more times. Lift, bring your thumbs back. Exhale forward as far as you can reach, and then sweep your arms behind. Exhale. Once more. This time, interlace your fingers, drop your head, lift your knuckles. Humble warrior. Standing in our footprints with humility. Pausing here, noticing breath. Let's release our hands to the floor. Step your right foot back to meet your left, downward facing dog. Shifting forward into plank, we'll take a vinyasa. So your choice is to drop your knees, stay on your toes, or lift the right leg. A little more work. Come up to a back bend, and we'll meet in downward facing dog. Let out a sigh. Let's place our left foot at the top of our mat. The back foot turns open, rise up, warrior one. Breathe here. Standing strong, calm, like a warrior. Feel your feet and your strong legs. The arms reach back. Exhale to reach the fingers forward as far as you can, and then just sweep the arms back. Head drops down. Flowing warrior, inhale back. Exhale, reach and lower. One more time. And as we come forward this time, you could grab a strap or interlace your fingers. Humble warrior. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Let your heart push forward and your head drop down. Humility. Releasing hands to the mat, step back, down dog, and then shifting forward, take a vinyasa, toes, knees, or one foot, your choice. Let's raise our right leg up in the air. Reach your toes for the sky, circle your ankle. And then go ahead and bend your knee, open up that hip. Breathe here across the hip space. Extending that leg high, draw the knee toward the chin and then set the foot down. Dropping the back heel, come up again, warrior one. Good. Beautiful, everyone. Be in your body. Let your arms come back and either just reach back or interlace here. A little different angle. So knuckles reaching to the ground, chest reaching to the sky. And see if you can feel that pull in two directions. Hands down, chest up. Upward wind, downward wind. Ujjayi breath. And then just releasing the hands. Arms reach high. Come onto your back toes. High lunge. You might scoot those toes back a little bit. Give yourself a little more length here, space in this lunge. Beautiful. Let's cactus the arms. Chest expands, shoulders strong. And then on the exhale, bring your hands to heart. Shift forward and we'll twist to the right side. See if you can get a little lighter in your back toes. A little more open through your chest, upper back. And coming back to the center, let your hands drop to the floor and then drop your back knee. Sliding hips back, find your right hamstring. Let's walk the hands forward and pull the hips back. Breathe here. Breathe here. And shifting forward again, let's tuck the back toes, dropping the hands to the mat, downward facing dog. Pedal the heels, go ahead and shake out that right leg if you like. When you're ready, we'll switch sides. The left leg comes up high. Move through your ankle, open your hip. Good. Nice. And then squaring the hips again, let's step the left foot to the top of the mat. Dropping the back heel, come on up. Warrior one. That's it. Beautiful, everybody. Find your foundation. Root down. And then just soft, slow motion, let your arms lower. Reaching arms behind towards each other or interlaced. And then create this up and down sensation. Knuckles down, chest high. Feel your breath traveling up and down the spine. Open, still, calm, and centered. Let's release the hands, arms come up high, roll onto your back toes, find high lunge, and scooch the toes back a bit if that helps you feel more stable and open. So beautiful, everyone. Hands come to heart, hinging from the hips, reach all the way forward and then rotate into your twist. Beautiful, really nice, Paul. Good. Press the top hand into the bottom hand and lift your chest a little more toward the left side wall. So think of spinning your navel up and over your left leg. Just lift, more space in your ribs. Lift, lift. Good. And then release, hands to the floor. Drop your back knee and slide your hips back. Find that left hamstring. You can walk your fingers forward, pull your hips back. Breathe here. This space, this breath, this moment, it's just yours. It's yours. Breathe here. Release. Bring your hand to the inside of that left foot and just sweep the leg around. Come to a tabletop position. And take a moment to move through cat-cow a few more times and just see if there's any more mobility, ease, space in your spine. And on the next exhale, reach your hips back over your heels, child's pose. We'll just do one more little heat building sequence before we come deeper into the muscles of our back. So we're going to shift forward and lower halfway down, push up, and come back to child's. Inhale forward, little yogi push up, press up and back 2 more times. Just a little movement, a little heat. And then as we move into these muscles of our back, I'm going to give you 2 options. One is called thread the needle and one is called knot. And some of you know them, so you can go ahead and move into them. So if you're threading the needle, this one's a little easier. The right arm scoops underneath the left. The right ear comes to the floor, and we're right there. If you would like to explore something a little deeper, you're going to come all the way down onto your belly. Let's see where I can show you this. And you're going to bring both arms underneath you, and they're extended out long. Palms up. And you could pause right there, but to get the deepest expression here, you would tuck your toes, shift forward, and bring your head to the floor. Woo! Baby. This is called knot pose. What I'd like you to explore here is that deep sensation of opening in your back. Discomfort. Unpleasantness, but not sharp pain. This is where the knots of tension reside for all, I think all of us. See if you can allow your breath to soften between the shoulder blades, the back of the neck. Allow breath to just move into those places and create space and softening. You're going to take another deep breath in whichever you've chosen here. And on the exhale, just begin the unfolding. You can come back to a tabletop position or just laying on your belly. And we'll just take some time to move to the other side. So if your body needs a little bit more movement before you do that, go ahead and just be creative about moving your body. And then we'll find our way to the second side of either knot pose or thread the needle. So thread the needle is just left arm under right, not the arms are more straight, and you're laying down on your arms. If it's hard for you to get your head to the floor, you could bring a block under your forehead. We're intentionally putting ourselves in an uncomfortable position here. Keep a soft ujjayi breath going. Moving breath back. Start to find that back and front breath now. Inhale into your back and exhale. Feel the breath moving toward the front. You are a spiritual warrior living in a physical body. And the physical body shows the scars of the battles. The physical body has chinks in the armor, memories of the past. So we're just reminded to be patient, to be here, to breathe, to feel, while we work out some of the kinks so that we can get back onto the battlefield and be the spiritual warrior that we came here to be. Take another deep breath into the place where you feel this pose the most. Exhale loudly and begin to bring yourself up to a tabletop position. And we'll bring ourselves around into a seat. And with your legs out in front of you, bend your left knee, extend your right leg. Let's take the arms up overhead and we'll come into Janu Shirshasana, seated forward fold. So moving forward from the hips, let your hands grab whatever they can. It could be a strap, your ankle, the bottom of your foot. And lean your body forward. Rather than rounded, see if you can make your spine more long and the action forward more than down. Full body breath. And just slowly allow yourself to come up, taking a gentle twist toward the left knee. Feel the tall spine again, the up and down wind of breath. And bring yourself back to center, extend the legs out. Let's switch sides, we'll bend the right, clear the flesh, come up high and move as much as you can from the hips. So your body is reaching forward more than down. Breathe in, breathe out. Length, space more than folding down. Think of length, reaching head toward foot, moving breath into that new space. And release yourself back to an upright position. Let's finish that with a twist. Up and down wind, lengthening the body. Head turns last. And then as you come back to center, extend your legs out. We're going to start to find our way down onto our backs. And once you get there, just hug your knees into your chest. Give your back a little massage on the earth. You're welcome to come into happy baby, legs up in the air. Take the next minute, 5 or 6 breaths to do whatever your body needs or wants before moving into relaxation. What final stretch, movement, action does your body need? Stay connected to your breath, this inner world, this center of you. And then begin, when you're ready, the transition to your back for Shavasana. So as we come here into Shavasana, the word surrender describes this posture and this practice. Surrender and letting go into stillness, into the non-doing, and trust that something greater is at work here. So if you study the Bhagavad Gita, we learn about the ultimate warrior, Arjuna. And Arjuna is called to the battlefield. On one side of the battlefield are his brothers, his family, people he loves dearly. And on the other side of the battlefield are his cousins, his extended family, who he also loves dearly. And in pursuit of his dharma, he is asked to fight. He's asked to take a side, and he can't. He can't take a side. And so he looks to Krishna, God, and he says, "You take the reins. I can't do this. I surrender." Continuing to notice your breath, the breath that moves up and down, the breath that moves front to back, the breath that moves side to side. Start to move your body along with that breath. Maybe that's just wiggling your fingers. Maybe it's starting to stretch your body out long. What tender and gentle movement can bring you back to a seat? And as you come back to this seat, go ahead and bring your hands to your heart. Just taking a moment again, just this internal eye of seeing self. So in the Bhagavad Gita, as we learn that Arjuna turns to Krishna, which really is this inner spirit, this inner divinity, the words speak so much to this day. So I just want to share these as we leave. Today, we see humanity divided against itself, threatened. No political means are adequate to deal with this problem, and many of us are driven to despair. It is now that the message of the Gita comes to teach us that we can rise above human schemes and awaken to the presence of the indwelling spirit, wherein lies the answer to all of our needs. The indwelling spirit is right here. Thank you so much for taking time to check in, to look in, to be with breath, to move your body. May we all travel safely through the rest of this day. And no matter what happens, it's happening out there. In here, we can find peace. We can find stillness. Namaste.